Oh my gosh, you guys, today I am so excited. Actually, I am not the only gardener in my neighborhood. Today I'm at the garden of my amazing neighbor, Telisha. Hi. So today, you guys, she's gonna give us a little garden tour. I'm gonna get out of the way. She's gonna give us a little garden tour so you can see that you can do it too, okay? Come on, let's go, you guys. Come on, come on, go. Now, how long have you been gardening?
I've been gardening in this space for roughly 5 years.
Okay.
Before then, I've been gardening for about 10 years. I am the granddaughter of a gardener, Calvin, which is why I call my space Calvin's Garden, because that was my grandfather, and that was my first introduction into gardening. So it's precious to me.
So welcome to Calvin's Garden.
We spent so many summers in Alabama with my grandmother and grandfather, and being able to just go out and pick apples from the garden, and to be able to go and grab muscadines or do those things. The thing I can say is I am a very experimental grower, so I always try different ways. This is my 3rd year growing these, and so I've tried different methods, but because these will vine, they will get large, but in the end you will get loofah. So most people don't know that loofah comes from here, and they think that it comes from the water, but actually we grow it here, and it's a process, so it can be quite tedious, but it's very beneficial. So you know that the things you're using on your skin have been organically grown, and so that helps you inside and out. And so this is what we have here. So I am growing these this year in my grow bags, which I absolutely love grow bags because they're so versatile and you can do so much in them. You can do so much with them. Because they absorb a lot of water from the outside. You do have to make sure that you continuously water them, but when you have rainy days, they pull in all of that water from the outside, almost as if they're in ground. So you get the benefits of both.
Okay, so here.
Okay, so over here, next we have some baby blueberries that we just started. Now, another thing, I guess I call myself a couple of things. I like to revive things that people think won't grow. This was a tiny little stick. I think I found this on clearance somewhere. And so one of the things that I like to do is to bring things back to life. Being able to bring things back to life is so great because it's great for us internally. It's great for the ecosystem.
You're kind of like a rescue garden.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes,
what else you
yes.
got growing?
So over here we have root vegetables. So we have beets here that we have growing right here.
Look at that soil.
And these look so great.
Yes.
And so in between some of these beets we have some carrots. So this is my bed that I dedicate to my root vegetables here. So, as you know, I'm sure these carrots are getting some nice size, but we like to do this here. There's basil over there on that side, and the basil is good for pest control.
Yes.
And basil is just good. So, if you ever want to come out and have a lavender basil mimosa.
Yes.
Your basil.
I love a lavender basil mimosa.
And so you can come out and do that. So the basil is giving you a lot of stuff.
Now I'm seeing you got a lot of tomato action going on.
I do have some tomato action going here. This here is my tomato row. So we did it in an elbow so that we can kind of maintain and contain, because tomatoes will grow like crazy, but it allows me to be able to contain it. These are my Roma tomatoes that we have here. So we're looking forward to those coming in. We have a few coming in over there. All of these are from seed, and so that's why you have some that are really big and you have some that are really small, because I like to, when we are doing the seeds, every couple of weeks come out and plant a few more and a few more, so
that gives you gradual progression, and then you can yield tomatoes throughout the season.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
so
smart.
That's why we have so many different heights. Here we have our green beans that are coming up. Now,
what do you know? What variety? Like, is it a pole bean or is it a bush bean?
These are pole beans here.
Okay.
So we are. They're just coming up. These actually are only about 2.5, 3 weeks old.
Yeah,
so
girl, aren't they sprouting quick now?
Grow really fast.
I love it.
One thing about this bed here is this has some of the best soil ever, and I'm so proud of the soil, because most of this soil that's in this bed or in any of these beds, but more specifically this one, is that this is compost. So one thing, there's nothing that I want people to walk away with after spending time here is to know that the things that we eat, the things you throw away, are actually some of the best fertilizers for your garden, for your yard. Those same vitamins and nutrients and minerals that we consume fruit and vegetables for is also beneficial.
Can go back in the soil.
Absolutely.
Awesome. What I just noticed with your bed, what is this in the middle of your bed?
Okay, so this here is a form of composting that I do. So this is what we call direct composting. So some of the food scraps that we've eaten over time, see, look, you could even see a whole blueberry in there.
That's so freaking dope.
What we do is I will put the food directly into the soil and I'll cover it. So
clay
what
pot
this
is
does,
perfect.
yes. So what this does is when it rains, it allows water to enter, so that you're still the water assists, especially the rainwater. The acid helps with the breakdown of the compost of the food, but it gives you great worm action. You want worm action in your garden because worms are going to aerate your soil like crazy. So as they dig through and go through your areas, it's going to
making channels for your roots
so that they can continue to grow. Also, worms are going to give you compost. The worm compost actually helps with the growth of everything that you'll have in your yard.
And what is that worm compost called?
The composting that we use,
Like when they poo, when the worms eat the food and break it down, what do they give you?
castings.
Okay.
So you want worm castings.
Okay.
And so anytime I'm putting something in my compost, my dry compost that we have over here,
Oh, okay. This big black thing is your dry compost. Okay.
everything goes, before I put my food in, I put it in a paper bag. Because you get the carbon. So this is
Oh, very good. I just learned
months.
something. I just throw mine in there, girl. But
Yes.
that's some good stuff.
This one's new.
Oh.
So your Amazon packages, all of this gives you carbon. So in your soil, you want the carbon. You want your greens and your browns. Always think of that, greens and browns. So here, anything that I put it in a bag. As you can see, the brown bags will start to break down.
Yeah.
That's what breaks down your food. So that eventually becomes workable.
Look how you got your hands in it, girl. That's life, baby.
All of this is banana peels, strawberries,
And look at it, how it's just
green
crumbling.
beans.
How amazing. I
And
love
so
it.
this is what you'll do. So once this dries, because it's kind of wet today, but what I'll do is on a hot day, I'll open it. Believe it or not,
It'll steam.
does it smell? Does it smell like trash? It won't smell. Open it up, let it dry. This eventually will begin to look like this.
Look at that.
So-
Y'all just learned something today, y'all.
So that is what I do. So like I said, there are 3 types. We have the direct compost.
So you grow your soil.
I do.
That's brilliant.
I do what I can now. I will add compost from different things if I feel like I need it, like chicken manure or something like that. But most of the soil here is made up of food that my family has eaten. So this is what we use to plant most of our stuff.
So it's so totally sustainable. That's what I tell people so many times. I'm like, garden is like a full circle thing. You're able to eat it, grow it, eat it, compost it, plant it, grow it, eat it, compost. It's a circle.
It's a circle.
Literally the circle of life.
It really is. And I like to call this my own little ecosystem. Because
I love it.
What we'll do, we'll plant sunflowers here. The bees are going to come to the sunflowers. The bees are going to help pollinate what you have. So we have a whole ecosystem here that we're working with each other.
I love that.
Here are muscadine grapes.
Okay.
So this is actually really special to me. This is my 2nd year growing these. Once again, I got these somewhere. Someone was getting ready to throw them away, and they were little sticks.
Little sticks.
But now I babied them up, and so now we have some little tiny ones actually trying to come in.
Okay.
I don't expect much of a yield this year because I know it takes a lot, but we're going to start to trellis this, get it off of the ground so we can start to muscadines.
Okay.
That's one thing that my grandfather had. He had a huge muscadine vine.
Oh, wow. You remember that.
Yeah, so we would spend summers helping him pick those off.
Yeah.
You know how you
And
have those
eating them while you're doing it.
Okay, so here we have our snow peas. Snow peas are actually really easy to grow. I actually enjoy them. and it's my favorite garden snack. If you ever want a garden snack while you're out, grow some peas, so while you're here you can pick them. They're full of water. But once again, most of this dirt here is dirt that homegrown dirt is what I like to call it.
Yes.
So we have all of this. We're getting ready to trellis these up so that it can give us a cute little teepee. Get it? Here we have our okra. Once again, I'm experimenting. I have okra in the ground. I have okra
Very
in the
brilliant.
bed.
Yes.
So just trying to get a feel of how things are going. And here we have cucumbers and once again basil.
So Telisha, when I tell you, I'm just thrilled. First off, I'm so thrilled at what you're doing in your backyard garden and how you're providing for your family and the sustainability in which you're doing it. And I wanted everybody to see, you stay right there. When Telisha first started her garden, that was her first bed. And it's amazing when you start gardening, it's like God really starts to stretch you as a human being and shows you how much you can expand. So she started with this raised bed, and look at how much she's gardening now. Y'all see her over in the corner? Look, I'm not done. The garden is expanding, and she's looking to put an incredible freaking greenhouse over in this corner. So look at how much you start to expand and grow for your family.
You can care for things outside of what's going on in the world. So it's almost like an escape. So it smells different back here. It feels different back here. It's a time of peace and quiet. And so it's also allowed me to learn new things. The more once you try to grow one thing, you're like, well, I wonder if I can grow something else. And so that's exactly how it expands. And so being out in the garden has allowed me to learn so much outside of what I thought I knew, learning different ways to maintain an ecosystem in your very own backyard, and how we all play a small role in the larger ecosystem, and how important it is for us to continuously give back. So being able to provide this to the animals also, as you see the wasps are coming, and the wasps will try to help pollinate some of the tomatoes.
Literally you share.
Yes, so being able to understand how much of this growing, how much of this yielding is beneficial to not only me, not only my family, but outside of ourselves.
So Telisha, when I tell you, I'm just thrilled. First off, I'm so thrilled at what you're doing in your backyard garden and how you're providing for your family and the sustainability in which you're doing it. And I wanted everybody to see, you stay right there. When Telisha first started her garden, that was her first bed. And it's amazing when you start gardening, it's like God really starts to stretch you as a human being and shows you how much you can expand. So she started with this raised bed, and look at how much she's gardening now. Y'all see her over in the corner? Look, I'm not done. The garden is expanding, and she's looking to put an incredible freaking greenhouse over in this corner. So look at how much you start to expand and grow for your family. Oh my gosh. So Telisha, thank you so much for allowing us to come to your garden space today. And I wanted to just ask you your final words. What could you say to someone who's interested in gardening but don't really know if it's for them, or how has it changed your life and how is it affecting your family?
Well, first, gardening has changed my life in a lot of ways. Growing up with some basic knowledge of gardening, was always kind of there in the back of your mind. But once I began to do it on my own, it allowed me a space to come and to enjoy peace. All of the green is just so peaceful. Once the colors come in, the reds come in with the tomatoes, the bright greens of the cucumbers, all of those things just kind of put you in a better mood. They put you in a better space. So being able to come out here and focus solely on life allows me to get that feeling of nurturing. It allows me to give the feeling of completion and satisfaction. Even if things don't turn out exactly how I want it to be, I know exactly what I'm going to do the next time and the next time. So it allows me to grow. It allows me to expand the knowledge that I have, because when I first began on my own, I didn't know everything that I know now about the benefits of the bees and the birds and the wasps.
And the worms.
Exactly, everything that they do for us. So it has allowed me to not only expand my knowledge of these things, but allow me to talk to other people about the benefits of gardening. I think gardening is for everyone. I think everyone can grow something. The first time you grow something, you won't be able to stop. So that's a warning.
Well, thank you for allowing us to come in your beautiful garden. And we will see you next time for that loofah harvest. And I think you said something about some incredible mimosas or something.
Yes, we're going to harvest loofah, and then we're going to have some basil and lavender mimosas.
Yes, I can't wait. Sounds like a garden party.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, beautiful. Okay, so I am about to leave, and I have this incredible container of yummy red wigglers. And so could you tell us a little bit what you're doing here in this container?
I will quickly. We keep just like the other compost, worms will eat your food and they will give you castings. And so we compost here with our worms. And so what this does, it allows another way for you to break down your food. So as food breaks down in the landfill, it gives gases off into the environment. So this here, you're able to do your part, and you're able to directly place your food in here, feed your worms. Now what happens is, these babies here, we take care of them like they are pets. So we'll feed them about every 2 weeks. What the worms do, they eat the food. It usually takes about 2 weeks to break down watermelon, 2 weeks to eat a banana. They like carrots, they like things of that nature. So what we'll do is we'll put our food in here. The worms will eat the food, and they'll give us what we call worm castings. So your worm castings are full of nutrients. So the same way as before, when you think about like your cows and your chickens, the manure, the worm castings are just as important because they are full of nutrients, because they've eaten all of your nutritious fruit and vegetables, and they provided you with the castings. So the castings here, you can take this, you can simply remove your worms if you want to continue to grow them, and you put this into your bed. So a lot of the soil that you see in my garden here have come from the castings that the worms have given me. So this is a very important part as well. The red wrigglers are some of the best worms that I like to use. Some people like to use the night crawlers as well, but I get...
Really? I've only used red wigglers.
A lot of people like to use night crawlers, but your red wigglers will give you all of the action that you need so you can get great, organic, beneficial soil, and you'll know that you're continuing to play your part in this ecosystem that we have.
Yay!
So yes, so I am what they call a worm farmer. So
yay! I cannot wait. So you guys, I'm getting ready to start my worms at my house. They're in my soil, but come on, you guys. Growing worm castings is everything. Thank you for sharing.
you're welcome.